What's up, guys? Kevin Cage here with another crypto update. Hope everybody's doing all right out there, and we're going to run through some recent news today. First up, shared by RippleX. So we got news that Ripple is creating a fund to invest in tokenized T-bills or treasury bills and will allocate 10 million US dollars to Open Eden's T-bill tokens as part of it. So this group, Open Eden, has a tokenization platform and they are introducing tokenized US treasury bills onto the XRP ledger. Pretty cool to see this. The tokenization of T-bills onto the XRPL is a demonstration of how institutional access to DeFi is being driven by the tokenization of traditional real-world assets. These T-bill tokens are invested in short-dated US T-bills and reverse repurchase agreements collateralized by US Treasuries. Minters are subject to stringent KYC and AML screening to ensure the highest security and regulatory compliance standards. So this is a pretty good read for anybody interested in Open Eden. This platform recently surpassed $75 million in total value locked for its tokenized US T-bills. So Ripple will be adding 10 million. In highlighting the XRP ledger, going over features like the AMM, we'll talk more about the upcoming decentralized identifier, MPT or multi-purpose tokens, and then the native lending protocol as well. And considering all of this, the XRP ledger provides a strong foundation for real-world asset tokenization and institutional-grade DeFi. We already know this news, with Ripple working with Archax, the plan to bring hundreds of millions of dollars of tokenized real-world assets onto the XRPL. So looking at Open Eden and their T-bill vault, we can see their total value locked, or TVL, today is over 91 million. And looking at their website, the first and only tokenized product to be awarded an A rating from Moody's rating agencies. We can see the T-bill token. As we scroll up, we can see the ecosystem known as Zodia Custody right there, and that reminds me of this news, Zodia Custody integrating on Medico last year, and just remember that Medico is now completely under Ripple custody today. So Open Eden definitely has some large partners, and so does Zodia Custody. Just going right to their website, we can see Standard Chartered, Northern Trust, SBI, Invesco, 21 shares. So we're seeing all types of big names, big banks, big organizations working on tokenization platforms, KYC, AML compliance, etc. We also went over this a while back. 18 projects have been announced as part of the XRP Ledger Accelerator first launch cohort. So feel free to check that out. I did a video a few weeks back going over these 18 projects on the XRPL. Next up, I saw this shared by Wrath Economan highlighting Swift GPI. We have Ripple, and then we have Project Nexus by the BIS. So market solutions for cross-border payment models. And this is a cross-border report from back in April from this group right there, and he linked it down below. So we'll take a look. And this basically sent me down a rabbit hole looking more so at Project Nexus. If we zoom in here, you can go throughout this document. You can see Ripple, we can see Swift GPI, and Project Nexus mentioned a few times. And they also go over on-demand liquidity or XRP, and nowadays it's just called Ripple Payments, so everything is just under the Ripple Payment umbrella, but just explaining the overall payment process for ODL and how XRP is actually used. So this is on page 8 for anybody curious. And I thought these numbers were interesting. There's a global growing demand for cross-border payments with transaction volumes rising. In 2023, it reached over 190 trillion, and it's expected that the volume will surpass the mark of 290 trillion by 2030. And there's a huge importance of efficient cross-border payments for international trade and global development. So in terms of transaction volumes, we're talking anywhere from 200 trillion to even 300 trillion. So I always wonder, out of this giant pie, how it's going to be sliced in the future. Could it be something like Project Nexus, backed by the BIS, getting a good portion of this market share? Could some other crypto networks and payment use cases get some of this because there's plenty, or will there be some new kid on the block or a brand new project? Next up, we have news from RippleX. Congratulations to Girin Labs. Girin Labs receives funding from the XRP Ledger Japan and Korea Fund, and I believe that Girin Labs is the first group to receive funding from this XRPL Japan and Korea Fund. Girin Labs is a venture studio focused on developing integrated infrastructure for Web3. With the funding, Girin Labs will accelerate its development of the Girin Wallet, an XRPL-focused wallet, and the Lotus protocol for DeFi. So Girin Wallet and the Lotus protocol, aiming to build a user-friendly infrastructure that will enable XRP holders to leverage decentralized applications on the XRPL and create a sustainable DeFi ecosystem centered on the XRP ledger and the root network via the Lotus protocol. And for anybody curious, Crypto Eddie actually held an interview with Girin Labs. She has the full video available right there if you want to watch the full thing. I'm just going to play a quick clip.
Day and night right now to actually launch our products.
One thing that stood out for me was that your liquid staking solution with the Lotus protocol is going to be, I think, the first liquid staking DeFi solution integrated with XRP Ledger. So I think it's important for everyone to understand what is liquid staking.
Also, good morning, crypto. Just pointing out that XRP is officially listed on the CME now. And as we go to the website after the recent news with the CF benchmarks, we can see a big old list of different assets on CME Group. As we scroll down, we can see XRP at the bottom in alphabetical order, payment and store value. Next up, this is in the GitHub under the XRP Ledger Foundation and XRP Ledger Native Lending Protocol 0066 XLS 66D. So this proposal or discussion. Looking at this, XRP Ledger Native Lending Protocol empowering on-chain credit origination. So this proposal lays the groundwork for implementing a robust, decentralized lending protocol directly on the XRPL. It introduces mechanisms for fixed-term interest-accruing loans pooled from collective funds without requiring on-chain collateral. We have some proposal highlights right there: simplicity and direct lending. The protocol enables straightforward lending with terms directly agreed upon by the borrower and a delegated manager of the lending pool. We can see this is a protocol-native approach, unlike traditional lending protocols in DeFi, which are smart contracts that execute in a virtual machine. The XRP Ledger's lending protocol is integrated directly at the ledger's consensus layer and protocol level. So that's interesting because if you think of the layers of the blockchain, the very base layer, number one, is the protocol layer. The next layer is the consensus layer. So they're actually integrated directly to the foundation. Above that would be the network layer, the data layer, and the application layer. We can see modular and flexible designs built to be both upgradable and adaptable. The lending portion of the specification is built on top of another specification which brings a single asset vault to the XRP Ledger. This will unlock further use cases beyond lending in the future, such as yield farming, escrow, and more. So I just wanted to quickly touch on that with the native XRP Ledger lending protocol. This is 66D. We also have XLS 65D and 64D. Also, for anybody curious, we have the Algorand Foundation posting the Q2 transparency report. You can find this right on their website. This report covers a bunch. They go over a message, they have their balance sheet, different loans, grants, all types of info. Going over different achievements and partnerships, business development, going over payments, going over different geographies as we scroll down. And I saw this news come out yesterday, shared by the HBAR Foundation, highlighting the stablecoin studio built on top of Hedera. So we're familiar with this, and this is an open source SDK that simplifies the process of issuing stablecoins using Hedera. The Stablecoin Studio enables stablecoin issuers to easily deploy applications and oversee operations via a comprehensive management toolkit. We have this group right here called Elliptic, bringing holistic risk mitigation to the Stablecoin Studio. So now issuers that are using the Stablecoin Studio platform on Hedera can now benefit from an additional layer of risk mitigation thanks to new screening and investigation solutions from Elliptic. The toolkit offers proof of reserve functionality that utilizes existing systems or on-chain oracles to bolster the ability to provide transparency and disclosure. Seamless custody provider integrations ease development and reduce time to market. Advanced Hedera native KYC AML account flags and integrated service provider hooks. And right here, leveraging its next generation holistic technology, the Elliptic integration means any wallets or transactions screened in the Elliptic platform will automatically trace across and between different blockchains and assets for risk, now including the Hedera network and native tokens. Alright guys, we're going to run through Casper and really dive into the security breach in this incident report. We can see taking place on August 13th to the 14th that Casper is sponsoring and attending Instable Blockchain Week. We have the CEO of Casper Labs highlighting Condor to go live, or the Casper 2.0 upgrade to go live this year, and also emphasizing the launch of Prove AI, and I hope it is still before the end of Q3, which would be the end of September. Looking at the Casper Association GitHub, we can see the repositories and some recent activity. Alright, let's go through this report. We know that the Casper price chart is sitting at an all-time low price. The chart looks similar to structures for Curve, CRV, and Kava, but this recent security breach was just icing on the cake. Okay, so let's dive into the cliff notes here and read some of this. So the total amount of illicit transactions is estimated to be around $6.7 million. A total of 13 wallets were affected. So this isn't good, but it definitely could have been worse. It could have impacted a higher number of wallets and even more money. And unfortunately, these things happen in the crypto space sometimes. We even have Gala back in May. Unauthorized minting and sale of approximately 5 billion Gala tokens worth over $200 million. So we can see the attacker exploited Gala Games, so I know this was big news a while back, and Gala's still going. We can see the team became aware of the incident on July 26th at approximately 0500 UTC. The root cause was identified later that day at 1300, and then a subset of validators agreed to pause consensus on July 27th. They say after a thorough investigation, it was discovered that malicious actors exploited a vulnerability which allowed a contract installer to bypass the access rights check on UREFs, which are unforgeable references. You can learn more at Casper Docs, thereby enabling them to grant the contract access to UREF-based resources. This escalation of privilege enabled illicit access, including the ability to transfer tokens. Under resolution and recovery, when the severity of the attack was observed, swift action by a subset of validators to pause consensus on the network prevented further exploitation of the vulnerability. This was identified and a solution developed for Casper Node software to prevent any further exploit. In addition to patching the logic to prevent further exploit, new functionality was also added to the protocol upgrade logic to allow removal of illicit access from the attackers. Here, in order to ensure the vulnerability was not exploited prior or before that incident, a tool was developed to traverse the entire blockchain from genesis to tip and detect any other instances. This thorough process lasted several days and yielded no other instances of exploitation. That's at least good to hear. So there's a lot more information in this. The full report, if you'd like to check it out, was shared by Casper over on X a few days ago. I'll keep tabs on other updates. I do need to check the Telegram as well. And just overall, I want to see Condor go live, Casper 2.0, the upgrade. I want to see Prove AI launch by the end of Q3. And I guess my fear or concern is I don't want any type of security breach or hack potentially delay that altogether. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you in the next one. If you enjoyed this video, please consider hitting the like button and sharing your thoughts down below. As always, you can find all links, including resources for charting, trading bots, platforms, wallets, portfolio trackers, and exclusive discounts in my link tree at the top of the video description. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.